something for the Turkish fans before we enter into all the questions of the day. I wanted to start with Turkey because yesterday night, exclusive story on Tammy Abraham moving to Besiktas, 15 million euros plus add-ons, everything done, 4-year contract. Abraham will be in Istanbul tomorrow to be unveiled as new Besiktas player. And also John Duran to Fenerbahce is advancing well. He's not yet a here we go, but he's advancing very well also today. So John Duran is going to be a Fenerbahce player as soon as the final details will be clarified. The agreement with Al Nassr is done, and now they are working on the player side. But John Duran can be an important addition for, of course, Fenerbahce with Jose Mourinho, and then a lot of transfer activity between La Liga, Premier League, and more.
Let's now talk about Arsenal, because it's probably one of the most important news of the day, is the one you gave us today. So let's talk about Eze and the latest on that.
Yes, I wanted to start with Eberechi Eze because he's one of the main stories of the day, and I'm still getting messages on my phone while we are live. But yes,
Okay.
I wanted to start with Eberechi Eze because Arsenal had a meeting. Arsenal had a meeting with the agents of Eberechi Eze over the weekend. I can tell you that the meeting was an important meeting because Arsenal wanted to start discussing with the player side about eventual conditions of the deal to sign Eberechi Eze. So Arsenal have all the information on the release clause of the player. They have all the information on the installments, all the information from player side now also in terms of salary, in terms of transfer request from the player, in terms of commission, the whole package of Eberechi Eze deal. Arsenal are now informed. So the contact took place over the weekend, as revealed this morning. It was quite a positive one. So the player is not closed to a move to Arsenal at all. From what I'm hearing, the player would be open to joining Arsenal. Don't forget that Arsenal are working on several signings, including a new centre-back with the Christian Mosquera deal absolutely ongoing. So Arsenal are busy with several things. But among these things, from today, we have to add Eberechi Eze, because a contact took place with the agent. It was quite a positive one. And also, Tottenham remain interested in the player, but Arsenal are pushing. Arsenal are now working quite strong on this one. Let's see if they decide to proceed, okay, with the release clause, with Crystal Palace, with the player. But now Arsenal made an important move. And so we have to add Eberechi Eze among the targets for Arsenal in this summer transfer window.
Let's move to what was probably the other story of the day. I'm talking about Mohammed Kudus. What can we say on this deal today?
Yeah, today we have to mention a Telegraph and confirm their information on Mohammed Kudus and Tottenham, because Tottenham made some steps in order to try reach an agreement with West Ham and with Mohammed Kudus over a move this summer. It's not only Tottenham, but what happened in the recent days is that Tottenham, similar to Arsenal with Eberechi Eze, they made contact with Mohammed Kudus. Why? Because he's now represented by different agents. Mohammed Kudus in the recent days signed with Roof, one of the biggest agencies in Europe, and so now they wanted to discuss terms with the new agents of the player. They also made contact in the recent days to understand the conditions of the deal also in this case. They wanted to be informed on everything also on player side. And so Tottenham have Mohammed Kudus in their list, was one of the names mentioned in the meeting they had with the new coach Thomas Frank, approved as a player, appreciated also by the coach. And so let's add Tottenham to the list among clubs interested in Mohammed Kudus. I would not forget also Chelsea, because also Chelsea spoke to the agents of the player. Now Chelsea already completed 2 signings in the last 24 hours. Bino Gittens from Borussia Dortmund. João Pedro is in the US today to complete the second part of his medical and become a new Chelsea player. So Chelsea have been very busy with the transfer activity over the weekend, and so nothing is imminent for Mohammed Kudus, but they also spoke to the agents. While Tottenham are going very strong, Tottenham believe Kudus could be a top target this summer, and so let's follow this one, because it's a name to add to the list for Spurs, Mohammed Kudus.
One of the hottest names of the moment is for sure Nico Williams. Many things happened over the last days, also in the city of Bilbao. So what's the situation right now with the player? What's the feeling about this deal and Barcelona?
Yeah, we had many questions today from Barcelona fans and also Athletic Bilbao fans about Nico Williams. Today, many conflicting and different reports coming from Spain. Let me start by telling you that my information, speaking to several sources over the day, is that from what was reported in the morning by Mundo Deportivo, Fernando Polo, one of the best journalists in Spain, I can confirm part of this information where was said that according to my info, is true, people from the camp of Nico Williams are asking Barcelona for some registration guarantee. So Nico Williams has an agreement with Barca. It's a 6-year contract. Nico Williams has agreed all the financials of this contract, so the agreement remains. The desire of Nico to join Barcelona remains, but people in the camp of Nico Williams are also asking for some guarantee in paper to avoid any problem for Nico Williams registration. Let's say that Barcelona wants the player to trust them. That's basically the point. Barcelona keep working on the Nico Williams deal. Barcelona remain intentioned of signing Nico Williams, but Barcelona also want the player to trust their plan instead of inserting this kind of clauses in paper. So now the discussion between Barca and Nico camp is about these details, but it doesn't mean that Barcelona are leaving the deal for Nico Williams. As of today, Monday, Barcelona are still absolutely in the process to sign Nico Williams. Barcelona are still happy and convinced to go for Nico Williams, but they have to find, first of all, a solution. We know with La Liga, financial fair play, and all the rest. So Barcelona want to find a solution on that as soon as possible and want to proceed as soon as possible. So nothing has changed in terms of Barcelona plans for Nico Williams deal. But also, they want the player camp to accept their plan, their project in terms of contract, registration, financial fair play, and all the rest. So this is the story at the moment. Let's follow it day by day, but it doesn't mean that Barcelona have left or stopped the negotiations for Nico Williams. There is this topic to discuss also, but it doesn't mean that the deal is off. As of today, as of Monday, Barcelona are still absolutely in the process for Nico Williams.
Yeah, you mentioned it's as of today, so we have to follow the news every day. Here also in the channel, we'll be talking about this topic for, let's see for how many days and weeks, but what can we say today on Bayern Munich? Because that's the other big club involved in the story. Are they still in the race? What's the situation between Bayern Munich and Nico Williams?
Look, Bayern are still looking for a winger this summer. That's very clear. Bayern still want to sign a winger, even if they're going very strong for Nick Woltemade, the striker who did fantastic at the Euros under 21 with Germany and with Stuttgart recently. So Bayern want to go for the player, but Bayern also know that the investment would be important, but they still want to add one more winger. What's the point on Nico Williams? Barcelona know that Bayern have always been following the situation from the outside with some interest in the situation, maybe if Barca were not able to complete the deal. What I can tell you is that in the last 2-3 days, Nico Williams, his agent, have not received any fresh approach from Bayern, because internally at Bayern, they keep believing that this deal is very complicated. They know that the desire of Nico Williams is to go to Barcelona. So at the moment with Bayern, nothing is advancing. Bayern are considering different wingers in this moment. Then, if the Nico Williams deal collapses, we will see. But as of today, as I mentioned before, on Barca and Nico Williams, nothing has changed. And so also Bayern are aware that the situation maybe is not that easy, maybe it's not that imminent, but it's still not collapsing as of today.
Another one to mention today, the last topic we're going to touch here live on YouTube is on Leo Messi, because today there were many rumors coming from Argentina about his future heading to 2026, the month before the World Cup. What can we say today on the contract situation with Inter Miami and also for this potential move before the World Cup?
Look, on Leo Messi, I wanted to clarify something. We're talking about Messi, and so when it's about these players, as last week I was sharing about Cristiano Ronaldo, giving you 24 hours before the information on Cristiano extending the contract, but I only report, especially, I try on all the cases, but especially on these players, when things are 100% sure. And on Cristiano, in that case, was 100% sure, and then in the following day, he extended the contract for 2 more years at Al Nassr. On Leo Messi, what I can tell you today is an exclusive position coming from Inter Miami on Leo Messi. So what I'm gonna read you here on our channel on YouTube is an exclusive position I got from Inter Miami on the future of Leo Messi. The position is the following. Leo Messi is under contract until the end of 2025. The reality is that both parties, Messi and Inter Miami, we are interested in continuing this relationship. The necessary steps are being taken with the right mindset to make it happen. So this is the position of Inter Miami. Clear intention to continue with Leo Messi, clear intention to build around Leo Messi in terms of team, in terms of squad. So that's Inter Miami position. What I can add to this statement is that also from Leo Messi's camp is coming the confirmation that this is absolutely the correct position. This is the reality. They are on the same page. And so working together to find solutions, to continue together, to find a new contract. And so that remains the intention, the plan, and the feeling between Inter Miami and Messi today. We are end of June, start of July. Anything changing, I will let you know later in the next months. But as of today, the intention remains to continue together and to build together between Leo Messi and Inter Miami.
Okay, Fabri, so we conclude today's live show here on YouTube, as always, with this big news for Leo Messi and Inter Miami. We'll be here talking about all the next moves, updates in the coming days, and thank you for today.
Thank you. Ciao, guys.